In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Alex Hormozi made a $100 million YouTube funnel using AI. He first started as a regular gym bro and now has a following of over 8 million followers teaching people how to start and scale businesses. But what's his secret? I spent the past few days analyzing all of Alex Hormozi's content to see what he's doing differently. And it turns out he has cracked the algorithm to converting views into money. So in this video, I'll be breaking down his concept behind success, his exact content strategy, how he develops unique content ideas, how he structures his videos with proof, CTAs, and audience engagement, the AI content flywheel infrastructure, and the exact content funnel he uses to make $100 million a year. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So the concept that Hormozi understands better than anyone else and why he's so successful is because of the 7-hour rule. In 2015, Daniel Priestley shared one of the most powerful concepts in sales and marketing in his book Oversubscribed, and the core premise of it is that it takes 7 hours of cumulative interaction time between a lead and a company to build the necessary trust to want to buy your product or service. Hormozi really capitalizes on this rule by posting long-form content on YouTube, which makes it easier for his ideal avatar to trust him and makes it much more easier for them to buy from him after the 7 hours. Most business owners like you might be stuck in the traditional business growth flywheel where for acquisition, you're relying on buying leads, relying on referrals, doing cold outreach, working with agencies, running a digital ads directly to your website or calendar page for appointment booking. But with that, your prospect likely won't even have 7 minutes of trust in you or your service, where the standard is actually 7 hours. All those acquisition channels will lead to long sales cycles, low conversion rates, and a perceived low lead quality when in fact, they simply may not be primed to convert right now. And on the back end, this will lead to less revenue collected, less budget to grow team and increase capacity, and less funds to acquire more leads and clients. Hormozi does not rely on this traditional business growth flywheel. He instead understands the 7-hour rule and how to build trust within the market through his personal brand so he doesn't fail like many other business owners. When Hormozi does ask for something, his followers are more inclined to go to him and actually follow him because he has built the 7 hours of trust between himself and his followers for them to actually buy his product or service. He overall focuses on building the necessary trust with his prospects before asking them to make a purchase. And he does all of this through his personal brand. But before going into this personal brand breakdown, let me explain to you the content strategy he is using so you can replicate it as well. Hormozi ran a test before with this YouTube content where he started talking about relationships and gym and tried converting those people into really niche content, which made all of his sales drop and all of his business aspects as well drop. But after he started focusing on all of the niche content and not doing any more relationship gym related type of content, then he broke even and also increased his sales fast after that. The reason why his gym, his relationship, and content other than business was not doing well is that his ideal avatar didn't really connect to those or just weren't interested in watching those types of videos. Hormozi actually said himself that when he met someone, that person said that he wasn't his ideal avatar, but Hormozi literally said he literally was. That's when he actually thought about his content he's putting out and what type of niche content he's putting out, because if that one person didn't think that he was his ideal avatar, then probably many others around the world probably thought that too. That's why he changed his strategy to more niche down content across all platforms, where his ideal avatar would actually watch those videos and actually convert later on. So always stay niched in what you're doing, no matter the views, subscribers, and engagement metrics. As a business owner, you only need to focus on niche content and talk about your system to really find your ideal avatar you can sell to. A lot of branding is choosing everything you're not going to associate with and then seeing what's left. And that one brand becomes purer and stronger. He also tweeted that he wrote 67,000 words, 3,500 hours, and 2 years to write one single book. And when he released that book, it was a game changer in the business space. Why would any multi-millionaire spend that much time on a book and sell it as a low ticket product? It just doesn't make any sense. But Hormozi's smart, so there's definitely a reason behind this. It's because he understands the value to time ratio. It's about value per second, not seconds per value. When creating content, you always have to think about how to give someone their time back. If you had to spend thousands of dollars on learning something, just give it to them for free in 10 minutes. Many business owners, maybe you, spend tons of time rambling on screen, on video, just talking about anything other than what your viewers actually came for. But Hormozi doesn't do that. The second you watch his YouTube videos, right then and there, he goes straight into the value. And even in this video, I'm trying to give you so much value in the time given here and giving you the explanations for each single thing so that you can understand and basically copy it for yourself as well. So with this content, when you're consuming it, he makes sure that the time given in that time where you're consuming it, there's so much value that you can't skip out on it. He also understands the value to cost ratio because he sold his book as a low ticket where it's actually supposed to be offered as a high ticket product. He spent 3,500 hours writing this one single book and he just sold it as a low ticket product from the range of $1 to $25. If you check off all these boxes in your content, what I just talked about, then you'll understand what Hormozi calls the perception of value. This means that people will buy off a prediction of future value. They don't really know what you're going to be giving in your program, but they can get a feeling and predict what you will be giving and offering through that program based on the content you put out for free. That's why Hormozi always says to give away your best things for free. You make something so damn valuable and you give it all away for free. To understand what things you can even give away in the first place, let's go through how you can even come up with the ideas to gain the content ideas to actually create something valuable for you to give away. To sum it all up, did you just do shit and talk about what you did and repeat that whole cycle? Hormozi gets all of his content ideas and attention from what he's doing and not just from some inspirational things he says. You have to really move away from talking about things you haven't done or pretending to do, that you're just pretending to be something you're not. To create yourself as a unique asset, just talk about what you did because no one else can talk about what you did because what you're doing is personal to yourself and no one else can copy that. For content ideas, you just stop ideating. And instead, all you have to do is look at your business and see what systems there are inside your business and talk about those systems. And if you're worried about other people stealing your resources that you share online, many people have stolen Hormozi's resources, but it didn't make him less money. He actually gained more. So just do shit and just talk about it. Now, after you get a unique idea that you can talk about, here's how Hormozi structures his videos. So when you prep for a video, it's more likely to perform well due to the structure of the video. Instead of going in just talking about your thoughts, having a structure on how you want to start and end will increase your viewer attention because they will understand the video much more and you will as well. So here's a framework that Hormozi uses to make sure that his viewer attention is the highest and also conversions are the highest as well. It's called promise, proof, and plan. First is what's the promise, and then second is what's the proof that you can deliver on the promise, and third is listing out the plan for the proof and promise to actually fulfill. And what you really need to do is focus on the proof. Proof is the approximation of likelihood they're going to get from clicking on your video. Your content has to be good, but the frame that people consume that content is the messenger, which is linked to what the viewers are actually listening into, which is the message itself. Business owners don't really think about showing who they are and what they do when they're claiming to help someone, but more think about what the stuff is being actually said. If you provide proof, people are definitely going to believe what you say. But without proof, they will question every single thing you say and also not trust you as a trusted expert. For example, Hormozi has a multi-million-dollar company talking about growing and scaling businesses. But without the credibility, he's just a regular guy like anyone else who's talking about acquisition. If you're really educated in the space you are in right now, just talk about what you do as proof just like Hormozi does. But if you're new to the space, then you have to show proof of effort. For example, Hormozi has posted thousands of times and he can still show the effort he has done and why he has done it. And it overall just shows what he's talking about, which has the proof in it. So say you click on one of his videos and he says, I'm the owner of acquisition.com and co-owner of School and I've helped multiple companies scale past $1 million months. Now compare that to someone who says, I'm a teacher and I will give you great investing advice. Who would you believe? Would you believe someone who's actually in the space they talk about? Or would you believe someone who has a profession and talks about something else random other than the profession? You would believe someone who actually has proof like Hormozi. So that's why talking about proof and credibility in the first few seconds of the video is very important for people to trust you and watch your video thoroughly. Now before your viewers even click on your video, they first see the thumbnail and title to see if the video is actually valuable enough for them to actually watch through. And that's what makes them the most important parts before posting. Hormozi talks about confirming the thumbnail and title in the video itself as soon as humanly possible. So when someone clicks on a video, they want to know what they clicked on so then they can actually understand what the video is about and then they can watch watch the video later. So based on what the title is versus what the person says in the first few seconds of the video needs to confirm multiple ways on what the title and thumbnail shows. In entertainment, if the title and thumbnail show a train pushing a Lamborghini or going into it, and the first few seconds of the video shows that, then the viewers are more likely to watch throughout the whole video. But in education, to approximate what they're going to get when they watch the video, the way to approximate that they're going to get what they want to get is different because you can't show the results. But what you can do is show the proof and credibility in what you're doing. And that's where the proof and credibility we talked about before comes back. So overall, the title, thumbnail, and proof are very important for your video because that's what actually makes your viewers actually click on the video and watch throughout the whole video. Now, since you're a business owner and you want to convert your followers through actual booked appointments to YouTube, you have to really dial in on your CTA strategy. For Hormozi, he has only around 3 CTAs throughout his whole video. One near the first 30% of the video, then 60%, and at the last bit, that very ending of the video. You have to make sure your CTAs actually flow throughout your video and it doesn't sound like an ad. And for each video and each CTA phrase, don't have the same CTA. Always relate the CTA to the specific video they're watching because due to the different problems addressed in the video, they will differentiate how smoothly you add in the CTAs. And when watching Hormozi's videos, he doesn't have all of the same CTAs. He always constantly tests out his CTAs throughout each video. He tests them on what he puts throughout the videos and also how he phrases the CTAs. So definitely just try testing out the CTAs, where you're going to place them and also what you're going to say if you're starting. And after a few runs, you'll get a better understanding on when your viewers will leave if they have a specific CTA at like 15% of the video, and then that means you just have to change and just test around the whole thing. Also, what you have to remember when starting using CTAs is that Hormozi says that the bigger problem you have to think about is if there's enough value overall. So if you make a video and half the video has CTAs, then there's not enough value deposited into the viewer's mind to have motivation to actually take action on something. So make sure to provide more value than CTAs. And don't take too much time on your CTAs. Hormozi usually only spends around 8 seconds or less. Just let them know what it is, why is it important, and how do they get it. And that's it. Just smoothly transition into the rest of the video. So if you want a similar system to what Hormozi has done, check the first link in the description and we'll show you how it works specifically to your offer. Now, since you know how to create the best performing YouTube videos based on Hormozi's insights, now it's time to understand how he capitalizes on every platform and how he can implement the AI YouTube acquisition infrastructure to maximize output with minimal input. So at the really top of the funnel, he starts with Twitter. He posts multiple times a day on Twitter and usually picks out the best performing content on Twitter and then starts repurposing that throughout all platforms. He basically uses Twitter to validate his ideas because Twitter, you can be posting multiple times a day without getting flagged, and that's basically where he just brain dumps all of his thoughts into it. So after he finds the best performing post on Twitter, he then repurposes that into a short form video, Twitter reel, Facebook post, LinkedIn post, and all other short form platforms. At the same time, he utilizes his podcast and podcast collaborations to really clip them out into podcast clips. He's not only getting ideas from his brain dump, but also ideas from his podcast collaborations while he's talking to the guest speakers. From there, he utilizes all of his short form posts to see which is the best performing post that he can really transform into a long full course tutorial type where that becomes a YouTube video. On YouTube, he makes sure he creates long form type videos to make sure he really nurtures his audience and actually gets his audience the 7 hours of interaction time based on the 7-hour rule. YouTube is the main platform where he actually builds the trust and nurture throughout all of his content, which is why he's capitalizing on all of these YouTube videos and putting out multiple a week. But the thing about his funnel is that he spends tens of thousands of dollars a month, thousands of hours, and tons of resources just for this simple funnel to work. Where instead, he can automate that whole funnel using the AI YouTube acquisition infrastructure. Let me explain how. Since he already knows what he's doing and can show that through his content, he can easily create a full course type video just like this one, 1 hour long, and breaking down his process or system in his business or anything he has learned or talked about throughout his whole journey, and always post those types of videos on YouTube so he can easily gain the attention of his prospects so they'll be warmed up with the standard 7 hours of interaction time. Then using that one YouTube video video and the AI infrastructure, he can easily generate 3 videos, short form videos that hit each point about engagement type videos, authority style videos, and a sales type video. The best part of this infrastructure is that the AI can create all the scripts by itself and also model Hormozi himself by the way he acts, speaks, and also moves without Hormozi recording himself. And you'll be amazed how these AI models can look because many of your favorite creators might be using them as well. With the types of videos that are getting repurposed from that one YouTube video, there will be one for engagement to get to know Hormozi, then one for authority to understand what knowledge Hormozi can give, and then one video for sales which potentially makes the followers or viewers actually take action on what Hormozi says. So he'll be giving value, and then ask instead of value, because he's optimizing for conversions and not just engagement style videos. Now after these short form videos are created, they can easily be replicated and repurposed onto other platforms like YouTube Shorts, Facebook post, LinkedIn post, Twitter post, and a Threads post. For YouTube and TikTok, he might want shorter captions than the ones used in Instagram to really optimize the platforms. And for LinkedIn, he can turn his caption used on Instagram to really longer caption because LinkedIn really optimizes for those types of posts. He can also repurpose them into threads and tweets, into X and also Threads. And now since all of the short form platforms are being taken care by this AI infrastructure from this one YouTube video, he can then repurpose them into middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel content through his newsletter and lead magnets as well. With this one AI infrastructure in one YouTube video, he now has an omnipresent that works 24/7 on autopilot, and all he needs to do is manage this or hire someone else to manage this whole process. He doesn't need to hire tons of people anymore for clipping, editing, and like everything else. He doesn't need to spend $80K per month like he's doing right now. All he has to do is post that one YouTube video and use the AI infrastructure to start repurposing across all platforms for all the types of content funnels for middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and top of the funnel content. It's literally as simple as that. So if you want a similar system into your own business, check the first link in the description and we'll show you how you can replicate it specifically for your offer. Now after the whole AI content infrastructure is actually running, then it's time to actually understand how to get that traffic into actual sales for your service or product. Now due to YouTube being the actual platform where he nurtures and actually gets trust with his audience, his main call to actions are to his company acquisition.com and his other co-owned company's school through his bios and YouTube descriptions. He gives easy access for his viewers to actually go into each of these funnels since he knows the people he nurtured through his content on YouTube will actually check out these funnels. Now if you go through his bio link and the acquisition.com link is over here, so let's go through that. You'll get led to their homepage where you can learn more about their workshops, free resources, and just about their founders as well. And through these free resources as well, he gives full-on free trainings where it's basically hours long worth of content, and is really valuable because these are basically better than many of the courses online that are like thousands of dollars, and he gives it all for free. So this is actually worth like thousands of dollars that people pay for, but he actually gives it all away for free on his website. Now, if you go through his YouTube descriptions, then you will be found to an actual like website place where this is like a lead capture form filled with like the first name, email, phone number, and annual business revenue, where this is the whole qualification process that he gets. And so if you're below their service requirements, then you get redirected to the whole like school page, which is like the low ticket product and also other more free resources. So if you're below that service requirement, then they get you to this page. But if you're in the middle of the criteria or actually reach their criteria, then they send you to this page with more free resources and also more upselling ways that they can get you into their funnel and actually get them to like you actually buying their product or service. But at the bottom of that page, then you have two options to see if you want to like work with them or just rather do it to yourself. But if you do want to work with them, then you get redirected to their scaling workshop. This scaling workshop works as a qualification process to add friction into their funnel, where they only get people who they want to work with that actually take action and actually want to learn more about their services and everything like that. And at these specific workshops, Hormozi will see and pick out few people who they actually want to work with under their portfolio. But if you don't want to work with them, you get directed to a type form with qualification questions to see if you want to potentially work with them and get you back into the whole funnel with the scaling workshop over here. And this funnel is actually not only seen on YouTube, it's actually seen on all platforms. He always pushes out the email capture form with the Hormozi Money Minute newsletter because he understands the importance of capturing and owning their email so he can always nurture and sell anything to them based on the offer he's launching next time. So that's how Alex Hormozi made a $100 million YouTube funnel using AI. So if you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner and want to implement the AI YouTube acquisition infrastructure similar to Hormozi's processes, check out the first link in the description and we'll show you how it works specifically for your offer. So check that link and see if you qualify. With that, I'll see you in the next one.